Thank you to all of you guys. Very patiently sitting there. You'd like, समझ में आ रहा है, नहीं समझ में आ रहा है, सुन लेते.
Recording चालू.
Recording चालू करो.
How do you compare Mumbai real estate prices and Dubai real estate prices? What do you think is more value for money, and which I would say city do you see give more returns in 5 years? Which nationality buys the most in Dubai?
Desis rock, bro. The Desis are amazing. Desis, Chinese, Russians, your Europeans, UK has also been quite a bit off late. Africans, but Desis are amazing. I mean, like the spending, not the spending, the investment, the investing capacity we have, and I think it's in our culture as well. Like पड़दादों के ज़माने से है कि property लेके भाड़े पे डाल दो, rental income. That's there in a lot of other cultures, but we Desis have a
Roti kapda makan. Do projects get stuck in Dubai, and how effective is RERA in Dubai?
RERA to super effective. RERA is to it's like a भगवान. It's not really stuck, but delays भी होते हैं. But again, they're very calculated. कोई बोलेगा कि मैं आपको building या apartment handover करूँगा on say June 2025. Just hypothetically giving a date. By July, August हो ही जाता है.
Oh, that's
there are lots of them, and there are lots of them who even give it ahead of time.
Right.
So there are lots of them who give it ahead of time. Like
हमारे यहाँ तो 2 महीना, it's not even a delay. It's like on time, before time मिल गया. Say somebody had 100,000 dirhams to start a business in real estate or an ancillary industry of real estate. What business would you choose?
100,000 dirham.
Hi guys, I'm super excited because on today's episode of the Real Estate Show with Mayank, our today's guest is called Atinirmal Pagarani, and he is your man for Dubai. Anything property related, anything ancillary related to real estate properties in Dubai, he's your man. He's into multiple businesses, from real estate brokerage to construction management solutions to providing security guards for your building, interiors, material supplying, the whole 9 yards. So today we learn a lot about Dubai real estate and the ancillary industries around Dubai real estate from the man himself. Hi Ati.
Hello.
Thank you so much for taking out time.
Thank you for having me.
Being in Mumbai with your busy schedule, highly appreciated.
No, thank you. This is exciting. I was looking forward to this.
Likewise.
I mean, with an OG in the field over a decade, I think I'm going to learn more than I'm going to like.
Dubai, you're the man, right? You're the go-to guy. And what I really like about Yogi Group and you're extremely dynamic, let's face it, right? Because we see people doing brokerage or construction, but for you, you're doing brokerage, you're doing material supplying, you're doing construction, right? Handling the entire project life cycle of the construction process. Once the building is ready, you do facility management, providing security guards, and अगर किसी को interior करना, you do interior as well. Have you left anything?
शादी कर लिया. Just get married to them. I'm like,
A to Z.
Professionally, we get married, and you're like, this marriage has no separation. There's no prenup. There's nothing needed for this. And
Full power.
Yeah, by the grace of God.
So that's fantastic. That's what I really liked about your entire portfolio. And we're like, boss, in Dubai, if we want to learn something from somebody in Dubai, Ati's your man. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I have a lot of questions to ask you.
Yeah, let's go.
Right.
Let's go.
I hope you don't have a deadline for today.
No, I'm more than happy. I have enough time for the day now.
Awesome. So Ati, first question, how did you get into all of this? Right? Not just real estate in particular, if you could just tell me your journey about, different kind of businesses, when you started, what.
So real estate is in my blood. Like I think, I'm sure this is like I was conceived with real estate thanks to my dad. So he started very humble. He moved to Dubai a little over 60 years back, and Yogi Group is a little over 5 decades. And real estate is the oldest business. He started as a janitor. He was a cleaner. He started super humble. And nowadays you have all these bigger organizations where networking happens. Like in pehle zamane mein, the networking was just sitting outside on the roadside because AC bhi nahi hoti thi. So my dad, he picked up the Arabic language really quick. So he used to just chill with the Emiratis, just sit with them, have like no small talk, like genuine conversations. And bato mein, one of the Emiratis told my dad that my building is getting ready and I want to rent it out. And my dad was just eavesdropping actually. He was talking to someone else. And then in a couple of days, he met some other group of Emiratis, and they're like, we are looking for an apartment to rent out for my staff, but in this location. And my dad just connected the two dots. He's like, okay, I'll make you meet someone. And my dad did not even know what brokerage is. You know? His education level was not at that level. And he got both of them connected. उसका अपार्टमेंट भाड़े पे चला गया, इसको भाड़ा मिल गया, and एक को भाड़ा चला गया, and one found a apartment for their tenant. And then in a fortnight, they met my dad again. You know, they gave him a small envelope. They're like, this is your brokerage. My dad's like, what is this? They're like, this is your dalali. My dad's like, what is dalali? You know, what is brokerage? They're like, you help us connect, so this is your brokerage fee. And my dad had no clue. And then obviously, being that desi, the entrepreneurial bug in him,
right?
He's like, oh, this can, something can happen. So that's how the networking started for him, and then that's how business started, and then that's leasing units, and then property management started, and then dhire karke, everything else kept going. And then I was born into it. I mean, as I was saying, I think those are the conversations happening when I was even conceived. So it's all in my blood. मेरे DNA में
all in the
वो wiring is all, कैसे building की wiring होती है वो, the wiring is all property related.
In your DNA.
In my DNA.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All thanks to my dad. God's grace, my parents. I'm glad they moved to Dubai. They sailed to Dubai. वो flights भी नहीं थे. He came in a boat. So yeah.
Has Dubai, the governance really kind of helped you in all your businesses, making the process a little smoother for you?
The government in Dubai is unbelievable. I think whatever today the city is, the country is because of the royal family, is because of the way the rules and regulations of the country are, the discipline, the facilities for anyone to open a business or operate a business. Everything is smooth. Everything is easy. It's by the book. There's no hanky panky,
no jugaad,
no खिलाना पिलाना, no किसी को खुश करना, no one popping up suddenly on your door. That बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा है. आपको मालूम है मेरा बच्चे को वो phone बहुत पसंद है. Or nothing like that is happening. So it's very, very smooth. And so I think all the credit goes to the royal family, the rulers of the country, and individually the cities as well. So I mean, Dubai is what I can speak for because born, brought up there. So I think that makes a lot of difference. And coming back to your question, they have helped. Awesome. They have really helped. I think not me, they've helped anyone who wants to.
Everyone, exactly.
Even today,
it's a true melting pot. I mean,
even today, if someone needs to move in, they're like, yeah, it's बहुत easy है. Like you go there, your trade license of a company is issued in less than a few hours.
That's fantastic.
And then the whole thing starts.
You know, there's a video I was seeing on satellite, Google Earth, how Dubai has changed the landscape through a satellite. Yeah. It's a time-lapse video from 1990 to 2022. And it was full desert, barren land. You know, I'll share that video with you. I mean,
please
it's just fantastic.
It is. It completely like I can't even call it, like you're not even flabbergasted. You're just like, how,
It's
man? Like how have they done this? Like
Meanwhile, we finally build a flyover in 35.
No, yaar, even India has picked up pace, but but Dubai for some reason is too quick. I remember one of the trips where I was traveling. I either came to India or was somewhere else, and I went back to Dubai in maybe 8 days, 9 days. And when I'm on the main Sheikh Zayed road, and suddenly I'm telling the driver, हम थोड़ा ऊपर नहीं है ये road में. They're like, हाँ sir, ये flyover खुल गया. मैंने बोला एक हफ्ता पहले तो नहीं था. They're like, हाँ sir, वो under construction था. I was like, how can a flyover come in a week?
Correct.
They're like, no sir. He's like, नहीं भैया वो बन रहा था, but वो connection ऐसे किया. And I was like, how?
Seamless
I was here like 7-8 days back. On the same road, I'm a little higher.
Correct.
And then there's a different parking lot in the middle of the highway on the bottom. So, yeah, these guys can do anything.
Ati, I'm just curious, what did you study exactly, and did it help you in what you're doing today?
Yeah, for sure. So, my basic schooling was in Dubai, and then I moved to the UK for a little over 4 years. And I pursued my Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration as an undergrad. And then my Master's of Science in Engineering Business Management. I was at Warwick. And then I even did an entrepreneurship course in LSE. So yeah, all of that definitely helped. Because
did the entrepreneurship course at LSE in specific help you? Like the way you think?
It was, I would think it was a cherry on the top to my undergrad. My master's was more focusing on engineering and business together because of being in construction, and we are manufacturing building materials, we are trading building materials, and there's a lot of technical side to the business. So engineer can't take the mickey out of me. You know, जब वो बात कर रहा है, then I know what that person's talking. You know, I can learn business and come and sit in the office. लेकिन वो कुछ technical बोलेगा, it'll be a bouncer for me, right? But now that doesn't happen thanks to my degree, and it definitely helped. And I think every entrepreneur, any business leader can very confidently say it's what you know and then who you know. But in the what you know, I feel there is a good amount of credit I want to give it on the education part, because of what you know can even happen through life. You don't need to go through formal education. I look at my dad, right? Like he skilled it, and then but there was not proper formal education. But for me, I feel I will want to give that credit to my education. I would still promote that for anyone who thinks कि school dropout ने वो कर दिया. I'm like नहीं, please मेहरबानी करके school जाओ.
You know, thanks for bringing this point, because in the Gen Z today, what happens is, you know, dropping out of college has become like a glorified, you know, okay, if you dropped out of college, that means you're successful. But they forget that the Bill Gates, Zuckerbergs, Steve Jobs, they dropped out of Harvard and the Ivy Leagues. That means they were smart enough to get into them. You can't, you know, drop out of a random college thinking, you know, I think education has, because of these startup CEOs and founders, people, I think Gen Z forgets that education is still important.
Very, extremely. I think it's not only about what you're studying or what you're learning through a book. It's the discipline you get. And for me, I'm so glad I lived alone for a few years, because I'm not trying to flex here, but by the grace of God, agar Dubai mein tha, I'm like, घर में खाना बन जाएगा. I don't need to go back and think about my food. You know, the bed sheets already taken care of. कपड़े धो के ready है. I would not think of all of that in Dubai. But when you're in university, you need to think, right? I need to go grocery shopping. I need to make sure that I'm feeding myself. I'm keeping my nutrition on. For me, health was very important because I had a very obese past. So I had to be very mindful of what's going inside me. I need to make sure that my apartment's clean, because if there's clutter around you, you don't really progress. Like maybe because I was brought up in a house where I always kept hearing from my parents कि, you know, Lakshmi भी वो घर में आती है जहाँ साफ सफाई होती है. You know, if there's clutter, then you don't get that. So, and again, Saraswati is not far from Lakshmi. So even education is not going to come into my room and into my brain if I'm not going to keep things clean, right? So I was brought up with that kind of upbringing. And so, yeah, so I kept all of that in mind, and education. And again, the friends you make, the peers, the networking you do unintentionally. I didn't know the plus point of networking, but through university, even today, I'm very good friends with them. And I'm not glad कि आज ओलो के साथ ही धंधा हो रहा है क्योंकि दोस्ती बनी थी. God's grace हो रहा है, that's great. But you learn a lot. Correct. You learn a lot. And you know, जैसे बोलते हैं ना वो चाय पे चर्चा मुफ्त की शिक्षा.
Correct.
So that's what happened, right? I mean, even when you're meeting your friends in university, you're having school or coffee or breakfast, and there's a lot of great conversations happening. People have left their home country.
Organic friendships, basically. There's no ulterior motive.
Yeah. So they've left their country, they left their city, and then they've come, and they all come with a great educated baggage of their own life, and then you hear it out. You keep learning. And for me, I'm like a sponge. I'll keep sucking in, like not knowing that I'm doing that, and then I'm like kabhi na kabhi kaam aayega. You know? Correct. And so yeah, I think that definitely
kaam aaya hai, definitely.
Superb. Yeah, no, for sure. And I'm so glad that whatever I did, and God's grace, I was the first kid from the family to step out and leave the country and go abroad. And yeah, it was amazing.
Awesome. So, you know, let's talk about the list of businesses that you guys have started over the past 5 decades. Of course, starters is brokerage.
Yeah, property
right?
management and brokerage. Yeah.
And I love brokerage because अगर आपको zero से hero बनना है without any capital, in real estate, I don't think there's anything better than brokerage, right? Because you can start with zero capital and you're living proof of that, right? So brokerage, construction, of course, material supplying.
Ji.
Then we look at facility management, property management as well, the demands of people who you maintain homes for, holiday home rentals, right? And of course, interiors. Have I missed out on anything? And security guards as well.
Security guards. There are a few other small verticals as well, but yeah, you've covered most of it.
Right. So out of all these, do you have a favorite?
The cliche answer is you can't love one of your kids, right? Here so many, but no, but I'm not going to give you a cliche answer. Honestly, all of them are unique and amazing in their own way. And with brokerage, obviously, why it's nicer, because I'm a very people's person. And when you're talking to somebody, you're very briefly having a conversation with them. And I'm not trying to corner them कि यार आप property खरीदना चाहते हो. Maybe they're meeting me with that intention. But in that people's person, I get very happy when someone's obviously managed to get an apartment or an office or जो भी उनको खरीदने का है या भाड़े पे लेने का है. So that brokerage, because of lesser capital and more people's, I do have fun. Construction is great. I enjoy construction because you're seeing something completely come up from scratch. But for some reason, I've realized in the last maybe a decade or so, I have a lot of fun doing renovations and upgrades. Like, and then someday I was just sitting, you know, when you're sitting down on your own gratitude journal and you're just writing things down, I'm like, I don't know why I enjoy this more. I'm like, maybe because by the grace of God, I feel I'm already built and I do things on a daily basis to learn and upgrade myself. So जब खुद का upgrade होता है मेरे को खुशी होती है तो हम like किसी का property का भी upgrade होता है I get happy and then I kind of throw in that energy into the project as well. And then my team also feels it. My team is like, so why are you so satisfied with someone just putting one new wallpaper? You know, I mean, किसी का garden बन रहा है, किसी का पूरा villa तोड़ के नया बना रहे हैं. So there's a little bit of fun in that. I don't know why. It's still construction and renovations is, I mean, it's not potato, but it's the technical bit is not very far.
Right. I think one is in construction, you can make things from scratch in your particular way.
Yeah.
But I think the second one could be challenging from a design sense of view, how to make things look better than what they are. It's like a cool remix for something that already exists.
But I think I can relate to it is because like it's like a chef, no? A chef who's not a foodie himself or herself may not even enjoy feeding someone. Yeah. But maybe because I'm enjoying the upgrade part of life, at least currently in my life, that when I'm upgrading myself, be it through a podcast or be it through reading someone's book or be it through just taking a crash course online, or because you need to recalibrate, right? You need to figure things out. So अगर वही property में some owner is doing or they are upgrading the office or this their surrounding, वो थोड़ा मजा उसमें, everything is fun, but there's a little bit more fun there currently.
What about material supplying?
That's also great. So we have all heard, obviously we are from India, so we've heard of JK Cement. So we are the sole agents for JK White, and even Godrej Material Handling, we represent them for the region. It's great. Material supplies is great fun. Margins are thinner, but it's a great industry to do. Issues होते हैं कभी-कभी if there is geopolitical issues. Not only, I'm not saying I'm talking in India, God's grace वहाँ कभी हुआ नहीं, but if we have material coming in from even Indonesia, Malaysia, Southeast Asia, Chile, a lot of wood. We do a lot of different kinds of wood, so that comes in from there. So logistics issues थोड़े होते हैं, and then the clearing में कभी-कभी issue हो जाता है, delays होते हैं. So, but you know what? These are part of life. So I wouldn't say.
Is like, for example, I'm sure you have a lot of fun in renovating things, right? Compared to that, is material supplying a boring business compared to that?
Yeah, na, little bit. I feel. I mean, if you compare both, comparatively for me, it could be a little bit more boring. But it's a trader. Dubai is a trader's place. No? So traders like your old school. Comparatively, yeah, you could call it boring, but not boring as well. You know, I mean, किसी बहुत लोगों का घर trading से चल रहा है.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, boring businesses, they say make some more business.
Yeah.
You know, like, so absolutely. I think since decades and centuries, the most boring business, they say, gives you the most money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
So, and interiors must be a blast as well, right?
Interiors is a lot of fun. I mean, it's inevitable. Like as a human, we age, right? I mean, be it our body, our organs, our skin, everything. A building also ages, and depending on the weather and looking at the way the climate changes, it's aging faster than when we want. And then you have, and it's an evergreen business. You know, हम लोग के परदादों का property खराब होता था, अपने परपोतों का भी खराब होएगा. Someone needs to be there to fix it. So yeah, I mean, we have a renovation team called Yogi Fixes, and then we have a toll-free number, 24 hours. Someone's there. They need, be it from upgrading it, be it when the rains happened, there was a lot of damage caused, and there were people who were stuck in the basement, third basement. You know, getting a person out at 85 years old, getting that person out from that basement out so that the person's alive was a milestone in itself. So yeah, no, renovations is great. Renovations, maintenance, fit outs, all of that. We do all of that, and it's all one-stop shop. You know, it's not like leke mein kisi ko theke pe de raha hu. By the grace of God, it's our team. You know, there are 1,200 people in the team, the whole group. Everything is in-house.
So full quality control.
Full, yeah, major QC. And
I think that's critical, though.
That's critical, and we're doing it for a long time. You know how they say in India, there's a way they say "Purana chawal." You know, we are. I mean, I'm not that Purana, but like but the group has been in the field.
Right.
Who's that Purana? So we know what to do. Like been there, done that, made mistakes, learned from it.
And out of all these businesses, you know, I would like to pry further. Is that what gives you the best? You know, they say work to reward kind of ratio. I'm not sure if it's the right thing to ask, but like, you know, some businesses you might put less number of man hours and reap more rewards, while some you might have to put more number of man hours and reap lesser reward. So I just want to understand, out of all these ancillary, businesses, which gives you the highest value for your time?
Effort to reward ratio for me, I would say real estate. Real estate, because मेहनत लग रही है, but मेहनत लग रही है when you're genuinely trying to, I wouldn't say trying to convince someone, but trying to tell that person the real the reality. Ki this is where you're investing. These are the returns. There's a proven track record. I can take you to other units which are giving the same return. And by thank God, this government of Dubai is superb. Like the rental index is out. तो मैं कुछ झूठ भी नहीं बोल सकता हूँ. अगर मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि ये property इतने million में मिल रही है, I can show a proper government website proof कि please have a look. कि this is a transaction done last week. This is a transaction done a fortnight back or 2 months back. इतने में बिका है. Everything is black and white. So I cannot किसी को टोपी पहना नहीं सकता हूँ, कोई मुझे नहीं पहना सकता है. Then they realize चलो ठीक है. If this guy is telling me that this is for X million, it's exactly that amount जो बिक गया था एक हफ्ता पहले या 10 दिन पहले. So even the customers are very happy. Why the reward is great? Because the effort is your time and your genuine information to them. And I would say being clean-hearted when you're giving that information, because for me it's not that कि मेरे को दलाली मिलेगी, commission मिलेगा and टाटा बाय बाय. I need it's a long-term relation. मैं वही अपार्टमेंट कल भाड़े पे डालूंगा या लॉन्ग टर्म में या शॉर्ट टर्म में, या वही लैंड को मैं डेवलप करूंगा किसी के लिए टू कंस्ट्रक्ट द बिल्डिंग और द विला और व्हाटएवर दे विश टू कंस्ट्रक्ट, एंड द रिलेशन गोज ऑन. यू नो, we have a lot of clients whose even their grandchildren are in touch with us because they're like, your dad took care of our grandfather and then my father and my parents, and then because of knowing the family for so long, you please take care of our property, advise us what to do. And I'm very hard to please. If I'm only not convinced, I will say that कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है खरीदने की. Then don't buy. Like,
I think genuine service, is unmatched.
Yeah,
genuine
man,
relations, unmatched. And I think most new channel partners looking to enter the industry, I think that's the biggest thing, right?
Yeah.
That
you can
that
walk
the
into a
client can see through how genuine the person is. Yeah.
We can walk into a restaurant and have basic dal chawal and come out very satisfied just because of जो प्यार से खिलाया था.
Correct.
So the customer service, and that is more important. Come and meet me for a coffee. Let's go for a meal. Come to the office. You're more than welcome. कुछ नहीं खरीदो अरे 5 साल कुछ नहीं खरीदो. Whenever I'm convinced also, I'll tell you this is where you need to go. You get the deal done and you're satisfied then. Like I've got clients across the globe and they're in touch with me on a regular basis. They picked up property, sold property, but they're in touch with me because of the person on the business. It's not because of just because I made a profit, I flipped my property with a great X amount. वो सब नहीं है. It's maybe I don't know, maybe I'm wired a little differently. So
I think it helps being a people's person and
and being a genuine person. Like, I mean, my name is Atinirmal. I'm very pure. I'm
Yeah.
pure in my name and I'm pure in my transactions
Absolutely.
and my way of working. And I'm not saying it because I'm sitting with you and because
Of
the
course.
camera is focused on us, but that is me.
Right.
Like, I have nothing to hide on that. And people who know me, they know that this guy is just being himself.
Right. Out of all these ancillary businesses and of course counting the construction and everything, which of these businesses is the most difficult to execute? Would you say construction per se is the most?
नहीं यार, it was, but not anymore. The Dubai municipality is involved. The civil defense is involved. The involvement of the government is so perfect from the time the hollow block is coming to make your wall, where every block also needs to be approved by the municipality, where the materials which are getting imported to Dubai or getting manufactured in Dubai, they all follow a standard. The laborers don't give you तकलीफ. अगर they're saying कि अगर ये टाइम पे पहुंच जाएंगे, वो टाइम पे पहुंच जाएंगे. अगर 7 बजे ड्यूटी है, 7 बजे पहुंचेंगे, 6:30 बजे पहुंच जाएंगे, or 7:15 max if there's any issue. So not really construction. See, construction is a headache job, but I wouldn't say it's the most difficult, or maybe I'm too used to it now.
Is there an issue of, because this issue persists in India, finding skilled labor?
Yeah. That's been an issue which
yeah.
has come in, I think, more so in the last maybe 18 to 24 months, is because most of the skilled and unskilled work done in the Middle East region are primarily from these desi countries. And these countries are giving a better pay to them in their home. तो पहले कोई बोलता था कि मेरे को, I want to leave, say, Kerala and go, or Bangalore and go, wherever they are from. Andhra, they're like, हम लोग दुबई जाएंगे, इतना पैसा कमाएंगे, we will earn this much, this is for our living, we are getting accommodation, we are getting medical insurance, we are getting all of that because that's a government requirement and we as companies have to give it, and the balance we'll send it back home. Now when they're doing the calculation, India is paying so well, they're like, why do we leave our home? More so, निकलने को अभी भी निकल रहे हैं, but they're like, why do we leave our home? And there are other neighboring countries which have started paying more than what we are paying, but people है, वो तकलीफ है. Coming to your question, वो issue है, but we are managing somehow. We are trying to see get people from other regions as well. Like for example, coming to your earlier question, so security guards is a little bit of a challenge, because pehle to there were few areas where the guards were not, they were coming from, but they could not come anymore because of whatever they have done in Dubai. So from those regions we cannot employ them. Africa, say we have started. Africa guards are brilliant. The ladies and the guys, they're superb. They are educated. They know the language as well. But that industry is such that if you want a bigger project, it usually goes to, I would say, larger players or maybe semi-government owned companies, who have like tens and 20,000, 30,000 guards. So in that way, we have not reached that yet. So that's a little bit of a challenge sometimes in that industry. And it's one of the newer businesses compared to the other businesses. So that's a little bit of a challenge, but it's growing. It's slowly growing, but it's growing.
Why should a person invest in Dubai property? Like, what are the, according to you, why should a person buy property in Dubai?
See, if it's an end user, then the quality of life. You cannot have a better quality of life, I would say, anywhere in the world. The safety, the quality of the apartment, the quality of education your kids want to ever take, the job security. There are multiple factors. If you're an end user, if you're a proper investor, this is the return I want. Then, and if they already have, if they've already taken a slice of the pie where they have taken one slice which is your equity, one slice which is your basic old FDs. If they want a perfect pie and then real estate is a part of that pie, which I would strongly advise, then the returns are great. Capital appreciation is still very good, and it's only going to be better in Dubai. It's still one of the cheapest per square feet if you compare to any other metropolitan city. And the number of expatriates which are moving to Dubai, renting is very easy, selling is very easy. Like, कितने लोगों को सुना in the last years कि यार मैंने दुबई में invest किया और मैं नुकसान में निकला हूँ. That's not happening. That will not ever happen. And the government also has a very clear plan. They don't want someone to do that. The government is like, you've come to our country, you have given your energy into our country, you've put your resources here. We will make sure we do enough around that you guys even earn and go back. उनका भी energy ऐसा है ना. They are so positive. They throw in so much positivity. अभी इतना शक्कर फेंकेंगे चाय में तो मीठी होएगी ना. And so then they know कि, और अगर शक्कर बैठ गया है, मीठी नहीं हो रही, वो लोगों को घुमाने का भी आता है. The government is super. वो लोगों को मालूम है. Let's restart.
Speaking of shakkar, let's talk about the 10-year golden visa. How does one get it?
So, you know what? There's a very recent update. As update as 24 अभी कल ही वो update आया. So the basic benchmark is you need to cross your 2 million dirham investment, and once you own a property above 2 million local currency of Dubai, you are entitled to a 10-year golden visa. Now, earlier the rule was that you have to make sure that you've paid the entire 2 million, and you have that title deed where it shows 2 million, and then you submit your paperwork, you do your passport copy, blood work, and jo bhi basics, and then you get the visa. Now, the rule as of 24 hours back, which is confirmed and informed, is that you can commit for 2 million, but you don't need to pay the entire thing. Even if you've paid half of it, and if the building or the property is ready, also 50%, you can apply for the visa and get the visa.
Okay.
Or if you are a highly paid job, like if your basic salary is above 30,000 on a monthly basis, which is very easy in Dubai because a lot of really qualified people have jobs there. So that entitles you with a golden visa. Teachers are getting it. A few people in the medical field and a few other very highly skilled people get a golden visa. It's just that you need to apply and submit the documents, your certified degrees and your working year. So yeah, those are the different reasons. So it's not only कि आओ property हमारे देश में खरीदो तो ही visa देंगे. Even if you're very well skilled, you're paid really well, and there's a value you add to your life and the country, we are happy to give you the golden visa.
Right. So this visa, what are all the benefits of the golden visa? You get to work there.
You get to work there. You got to live there. I mean, it's 10 years ka golden visa is in. There are a few other added benefits by having the visa in your on your passport. But it's like having a residency, na? Ki 10 saal mein, it's almost like a residency. Almost, it is a residency. Sorry, it's like having a passport. There's that khali 10 saal mein renew karna padega. So it's as good as you feel that you're one of them. Like you're not a national there, but you are a national there.
And do people buy properties only to get this golden visa?
Yeah.
So
a lot
it's
of
entry into.
Yeah, there are a lot of it. But then they're also very smart. Visa to mil gaya, and Dubai, the connectivity, thanks to Emirates Airlines. Like imagine India and Dubai alone has 52 flights a day. So imagine, and even across the world, because of Emirates, there are so many flights. They're like, जब भी दिल करता है, we'll go and be there for a bit, or we'll go and have a great time, be it a holiday or be it for work reasons. People want to arrange meetings in Dubai. It's become the hub.
Right.
So golden visa definitely helps there. But yeah, coming to your question, people are only buying property just for visa as well.
Yeah.
Just so that एक residency होनी चाहिए.
होनी चाहिए. Correct.
God forbid.
Correct.
ऐसा कुछ है तो
Plus,
residency.
anyways, that paisa you give for the visa, you're getting a property, and that property will appreciate and give you
And
good rent.
it will only appreciate. There's no way for it to go
Absolutely.
down because the city is developing so well. The infrastructure, the railway system, the connectivity of Saudi and UAE, the connectivity of Abu Dhabi and Dubai, such amazing projects. It's ऐसा नहीं कि हवा में बोला है, हो रहा है, दिख रहा है. You know, the system is on, the construction is
Fast
on.
paced.
Yeah, man, super fast. Look at Burj Khalifa, no? I mean,
Fantastic.
executing that project in less than half a decade is not a joke.
It's not a joke.
Yeah,
I agree.
so-
Also, I find that compared to other metro cities, international cities, Dubai property prices are really cheap. You compare it to Hong Kong, Shanghai, and you know.
Hong Kong is number one, I think.
It's
Hong Kong is still the
very
most
expensive.
per square feet. Dubai is yet the best price. If I'm not wrong, in the ranking, it's the 76th.
Wow.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Mumbai is way more expensive than Dubai. Mumbai is, you know, the pockets.
Yeah.
Like you have Altamont Road, Malabar Hill. I think new projects that are launched in Malabar Hill are 1.5, 175 per square foot.
Yeah. But you know what? All of these cities started selling property to, or basically they started selling property long back. Dubai's freehold is fairly new as well, right? Pehle it was only that the Emiratis could buy. And why property management was and is still very important because the old areas of Dubai, your Dera, Bordubai, Karama, Satwa, all Gises, Al Nada, all of these places, an Emirati family owns the property and they are not allowed to individually sell the units. Agar building mein 40-50 apartments hai, all have to be only leased and you need someone to lease it for you. Now अगर समझो आपका बिल्डिंग है जिसमें 40 अपार्टमेंट है, आप एक एक करके टेनेंट को ढूंढोगे, उनको स्क्रीन करोगे, देखोगे कि रेंट आ गया टाइम में, इट्स डिपॉजिटेड, नथिंग इज गॉन रॉन्ग, then you're like, it's a headache job. Can I appoint a professional to do it? They know how to do the screening, do the due diligence, then rent it out, prepare the tenancy contract. So that's what we've been doing for the longest time. And freehold was never there. So these are the old, that's why property management was so important and still important today. So that's the reason the per square feet pricing, I think is a great price because it's fairly not fairly new, ho gaya 20 saal abhi, but still it's newer than compared to Hong Kong, Bombay, London, New York and all of that.
Right. You know, speaking of property management, what are the, you know, weird requests? Have you got any absurd requests from your clients? Because I know you do a bunch of things, right? We'll talk about check bouncing as well, from check bouncing to tenant screening. But, you know, how does it work? Do you get absurd requests?
Like a funny request which comes, there are these 3-4 clients whose property we manage, and that person says that, listen, don't transfer the money to me. When you get the rent, so we, maybe I'm going to jump a little bit. So we as a company, Yogi Real Estate, we as a company are allowed to deposit the rentals of a owner's property into our account. There are very few companies who are allowed to do that. So you need a special permission from the Dubai Land Department. So we have that permission. They take a heavy deposit from us so that we don't run away. Right. We have that permission when we can. So say example, it's Mayank's property. So I can take your rent and keep it in my account, and then I do whatever you ask me to do with it. So the landlord is like, आप अपने पास रखो, मेरी बीवी को ना बहुत शॉपिंग का आदत है, उसको पैसे की जरूरत है, so आप रखो, जब वो आएगी उसको ये दे देना, and उसको दे देना, and then you know she wants to shop around, and then I've got this one other client that please मेहरबानी करके मेरे बच्चे और मेरी बीवी आती, किसको बताने का नहीं कि मेरा रेंटल क्या है, we have to, हम लोग को जमा करने का है, we need to, you know, like compound on that, buy more property and use it for these reasons.
Wow, so he trusts you more with his money.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not some investment consultant here, like I'm not like an RM for you to like tell you where to invest. So yeah, I mean, that is a funny request when someone's saving money because he loves that his spouse has to come and shop. And but yeah, as a daily property management, we have had requests where it's 2 or 3 in the morning that something is leaking and it's a crucial issue, and it's not a weird, it's a genuine request. But I'm glad that my team was there. They didn't say that please wait for the office to open tomorrow morning. They understood the issue, and even through the rains when we got people out, there was a lot of damage caused to properties. We did a lot of things. I wouldn't want to just use the word FOC. We were humans before being business people. We did a lot of things where we did not bill the person because their life was at threat. So I wouldn't say कि आपको ये तकलीफ है, तो we will send you the bill. You approve the bill, then my technicians are going to come. You cannot do that. Like, you know, this is, you know, then because when we became frontline.
It becomes too transactional also then.
We were the proper frontline people, you know. We were not like, आप form भरो and doctor आके देखेगा. No. We were like, we'll get you out of that mess. You take care of that. उसके बाद आपको जो दिल करे दे देना, इनवॉइस नहीं भी बेचो तो आई टोल्ड माय टीम forget it, these 3-4 days don't worry about it.
Right.
So yeah, it was very fulfilling, you know, then that humanity hits in, so it was very fulfilling to do that. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's fun to see what request comes in, from a leakage to बीवी के लिए shopping का पैसा रखो, एक ही बीवी से पैसे छुपा दो. So yeah, it's interesting.
Awesome. You also screen tenants for landlords. How does that work? Because in India, for example, if you're a bachelor, as a tenant, life is hard because a lot of landlords don't want to give their homes for rent to bachelors. Is that the same issue in Dubai? Do you face that?
Yes and no, both. So there are few areas and locations in Dubai, or the way the property is built and located, it's best for bachelors, and the landlord is aware of that. But saying that, we have to go through the due diligence. We make sure what that person's doing, where that person's working. We are getting an appointment, share the appointment letter with us. Sometimes we even ask bank statements, and a few other documents are collected just to make sure that there's no individual belly up, like, you know, that person doesn't cause any mess on the rentals. Few buildings which are purely for families, we obviously refuse to bachelors, saying that, you know, you cannot, unless it's a corporate who's taking it. Like I've had corporate companies saying that we will rent it out, but our HR manager or our CEO or someone is going to stay there, but he or she is living alone because they are here for a project for 2-3 years. But then we obviously look at that, and then we have enough documents in place, so we rent it out as well. And as of now, more than 95% of the landlords trust us. They're like, you know, you only take a call. There are few who wants an approval on everything. कि आप मेरे को बताओ who's staying inside. Right. Then only we'll lease it out. But इतने साल हो गए, no landlord asked me. They're like, you find them right, please go ahead. Understood. So yeah, but वो होता है. There is a lot of
here is a big issue. So if you're single, you'll have a hard time finding homes.
Yeah,
landlords are like, वो party करेंगे मेरे घर में, and all of those things.
No, I own property in Bombay as well. Even I'm very particular.
Absolutely.
I'm very particular that who's staying in my apartment, who's their family, कहाँ से आ रहे हैं, and I'll make sure that they're not renewing it after X number of years. All of that. No, it's very important. Here, it's end of the day, it's आपके घर पे आके कोई रह रहा है.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
you also handle cases of check bounces, right? A check bounce case.
Talk about it.
And you know, I want to understand how strict is the punishment for a check bounce in Dubai.
So earlier, check bouncing was a criminal offense, but as mindful as the government is, it's now you can file like a civil complaint, and the government obviously helps in their own best way to make sure that the check bouncing issue is taken care. It is a little bit of a headache, but we can apply for banning that person to travel. You know, like those things can happen because most of them are expatriates. So अगर check bounce होके 2 दिन में भाग जाएंगे. And but no, they do step in. So criminal पहले होता था. Now it's a civil complaint which is passed, and then you go through that little bit of legal mess, but solve हो जाता है. There are, I would say, 100 में से there are 2 or 3 cases which are dragged for over months. Otherwise, tenant also is, in Dubai in general, they are very disciplined. है तकलीफ देने वाले हैं. You know, every forest has got bad trees. But in general, this is calculated, and the government support is great. From the land department to RERA to the municipality to the courts, all of them, they all take care. Even wherever police needs to get involved, even they take care. They're very, I love them, man. They're superb. Like,
tell me one thing. Say for a 21-year-old who's just freshly graduated out of college, wanting to start the property management service business, how much capital would he need for this?
Capital इतना नहीं चाहिए for property management. It's not about the capital. It's the capital is your contacts, is your networking. Why will a landlord say you have a property and you're like, अभी मैं कोई 21-year-old इंसान को दे दूँ who's never been in the field, will he or she manage my property? Will they take care कि it's giving me the best returns? Will they make sure that the tenants are paying on time? The checks are perfectly done. The ijari is the tenancy contract that is made as per the Dubai Land Department rules and regulations. So that little bit of a worry could happen for a landlord to give it to a 21-year-old person. If that 21-year-old person is in a bigger company, then they're like, chalo theek hai. There is some reason why to give it to them. But coming to your question of capital, itni zarurat nahi. It's your contacts and your know-how. So I would honestly ask that person to please first learn the business. Be happy to be an intern somewhere or learn somewhere. There's no harm in learning and telling your employers that eventually I want to become a property manager. I'm here to learn.
Correct.
You know, so, and if you throw in that honesty, it's not that I will not give a job to somebody. Someone came to me saying that I want to be with you for a couple of years, but I want to become what you are. In a decade. I'm like, great. I should not find that person as a competitive. Maybe with that fresh idea, he may come with a fresh idea.
Set of ideas.
And then I'm like, ek baar tu ghar to aaja. Then let me see how much I satisfy you, and then let me see if you want to leave or no.
And then, in fact, even you can only support him, right? Financially, take a stake or something in future.
Correct. So that's what then, and we have done that with a few businesses where someone's come up with an idea that this is what we want to do in the company, and then I give them the infrastructure. And there is a thing which I tell all my division managers. I was like, मालूम है क्या? Think of it like an airport. मैं आपको runway दूंगा, मैं आपको flight दूंगा, मैं आपको fuel दूंगा, passengers दूंगा, support staff दूंगा. आपको खाली pilot का काम करने का. And flight take off करने के टाइम 4 इंजन चाहिए. ऊपर जाके 2 या 1 इंजन में काम करता है. मैंने बोला वो 4 इंजन चालू करके दूंगा मैं. But I need a pilot. You need a co-pilot. I'll support you with a co-pilot. And I tell all my division managers, and then they take off. So if someone wants to join me at 21, learn, bring in the ideas, do all of that, I'm happy to support. 3-4 साल में उसको खुद का धंधा खोलने का. मैंने बोला को क्या चाहिए धंधा खोलने के लिए? You know, if you have enough money, then I'm here to support. Na? You take X number of stake and go ahead. And then and I'm a known devil by then. I'm not an unknown devil. And then you figure how things are.
Absolutely.
And by the grace of God, then I'm quite. I don't want to sound overconfident, but I know the culture created in the company. You know, they feel that they're not working for me. They feel they're working with me.
Very important.
So बहुत फर्क पड़ता है. You know, then it's like, I mean, नहीं बोला sir मुझे, I don't care. But just be religious to your own work. अपना full, you know, be smart, work hard, work smart. जो energy डालने की डालो. आया, good luck. नहीं गया, भला. Maybe that deal was not for us. वो किसी और के भले के लिए था. So with that energy, they all understand.
Right.
They all.
How do you charge a person for the property management service?
It's an X percentage depending on the number of properties, depending on the dynamics of the property. If it's commercial, if it's residential, if it's a warehousing space. If someone says, you know, you manage my building, and if it's X number of units, then there is a particular percentage. The percentage is much higher if someone says manage by one studio or one bedroom. Then it's a different percentage because मेहनत उतनी लगती है. So it's and it's usually anywhere between your 3% to 10%. I would say 3 to 7.5 more on property management.
3% of what?
Of the rents. Of the rents.
Okay.
Yeah. 3 to 10 depending on the 3 to 7. I would say 7.5.
It will be 3 to 10%, for instance, annually of the annual rent.
Of the annual rent, yeah.
Understood. Correct. Okay. And does it also depend on the square footage or purely on the rent? Sometimes what if the rent is less and the square footage is more?
Say more on the rents because it's easy to calculate. Because then, you know, I mean,
खिचड़ी हो जाएगा पूरा.
वही मैं खिचड़ी हो जाएगा and I'm also going to get confused. But rentals are easy. And it's an old proven technique. Not that I don't want to improvise, but it's not needed. Like it's an easy thumb rule to follow. And on exceptionally, we have gone lower percentage, but then there is somebody who's going to give me X number of buildings. इतनी सारी buildings है, सब manage करो. Then I'm like, okay, ठीक है, you know. And then for them, couple of percentage don't bother. They're like, आपका ही headache है ना फिर.
I think it's a great business in my opinion because it's something like a SaaS, right? Like it's coming in, at least cash flows are easier to predict. I think predictable money is coming in.
Almost. As long as checks don't bounce, it's quite, and because the graph is only on a bull run, and it's only scaling, मालूम है कि इतना X% भाड़ा ऊपर जाने वाला है. And again, I will give the credit to the government is because they have given a rental index. वो index में लिखा है कि अगर आपने 100, say for example, आपने 100 rupees का भाड़े पे डाला है, 12 महीना हो गया, that index will tell me that you cannot increase the rent more than 103 or 104 or 109. वो index में लिखा होगा. So I go to my tenant, I give them a heads up the 90 days or whatever 90 days is usually the rule to let them know कि हम लोग बढ़ाने वाले rent. So we send them with the index का screenshot कि government ने बोला है कि ये 100 से 103 हो सकता है, 109 हो सकता है. Even the tenant will not do चिक. They'll be like चलो ठीक है. You know, then अगर tenant को तकलीफ है, जैसे कि आप हम लोग 3 चेक नहीं दे सकते साल का, 4 देने का, 6 देने का, then we obviously understand what we can do.
So landlord just can't increase the rent drastically.
Understand price they cannot put.
Okay.
They have to follow the rules and regulations of the
Interesting.
government. And again, this is a rule which came out yesterday. Because पहले क्या हो रहा था? अगर समझो आपको कोई, I'm talking Bombay language, कोई बोलेगा कि बैंड्रा में इतना % इंक्रीज हो सकता है. फिर आप बोलोगे बैंड्रा में तो यार 50 साल पुरानी बिल्डिंग भी है और 5 महीने पुरानी बिल्डिंग भी है. You cannot have the same percentage, right? Because it's different for a fresh building.
Right.
So the government has come up with the rule yesterday saying that we will rank the buildings as per the age of the building and वो percentage से ही you can increase it. It's a brilliant decision. I saw this last night. I'm like, wow, this is superb.
That's
So
very
there is
interesting.
Yeah. So this, I'm telling you, yeah, this.
We had this in Mumbai, in fact, just when COVID was kind of getting over, we saw rentals increase by 30% overnight. So that's something that will not happen in Dubai, say.
Yeah, I mean,
because of the index, the rental index.
Even if the index can, oh, by the way, so the index can tell you that the area rent is 120 for a 100 ka unit, but you cannot increase it for this tenant from 100 to 105 because this tenant started at 100. Iska limit is 105. Area is 120, but for this tenant you cannot increase it because they have to respect the tenant as well. So government does not only look at landlord, they look at the tenants as well. They take care of both. That's why and that formula and that whole algorithm which they follow is it's quite like it's robust, and it's I would say it's a mindful algorithm they've given.
Do projects get stuck in Dubai, and how effective is RERA in Dubai?
RERA is super effective. RERA is it's like a bhagwan, and no, RERA is superb. It's very clear rules and regulations as well. Projects getting stuck, they do get stuck, not as many. Out of 100, maybe 5 would get stuck.
Right.
But then there are always buyers to buy the project. So that it's not really stuck, but delays भी होते हैं. But again, they're very calculated. कोई बोलेगा कि मैं आपको building या apartment handover करूँगा on say June 2025. Just hypothetically giving a date. By July, August हो ही जाता है.
Oh, that's
there are lots of them, and there are lots of them who even give it ahead of time.
Right.
So there are lots of them who give it ahead of time. Like
हमारे यहाँ तो 2 महीना, it's not even a delay. It's like on time, before time मिल गया.
So there are a lot of them who even give it before time. Like Shobha as a developer, they're originally from India.
Yeah.
Quality, brilliant construction.
Oh, huge, yeah.
Brilliant, and if they're committing, they're giving it ahead of time. And कभी-कभी the people who have bought that unit, they tell me, they're like, यार आपने हमको बोला ये लेने के लिए, we are very thankful. ये लोग ने बना तो दिया, लेकिन हम लोगों ने cash flow, we planned it in such a way that my cash will only be ready by June. अभी इसने April में ready कर दिया है. I'm like, it's okay. The developers also understand. You tell the developers that this is what you promised. My money is not going to be ready for the next 60 days.
Correct.
They also understand that. Yeah. I mean, it's respect ना कि आपने you only told the buyer that it's going to be ready by June. अभी आप April में दे दोगे, उसका शायद पैसा ready नहीं है, or his mortgage or whatever is not taken care of. So,
in Mumbai earlier, when in 2008, when the property prices shot up, and in fact, at least before I would say 2012. When a builder delayed a project, it actually worked in his favor because the delay, में क्या होता था, he increased the price, his selling price. Now when the market is stagnant, cost of delay is brutal for a developer, especially in redevelopments. Your rental, the rent you have to give out to people. So I think a developer gets hurt the most financially when delays happen. So that's why now we've been seeing developers, even in India, have improved a lot with their possession timelines. Not just because of RERA. Yeah. It's just your feasibility gets thrown out of the window.
Correct. And materials are also getting expensive. It's not, I mean, cement today is not like the cement maybe a few months back, or steel, or your materials. Uska bhi ek escalation hai. Usually, obviously, uske contract mein wo nahi hoega escalate because the contractor has signed up ki this is the price I'm going to construct the building for you. But in general, labor is going to become more expensive. An engineer's salary today is much more than what it was a year back.
Right.
Inflation, right? It's hitting everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you rightly said, it affects the developer quite a bit. So,
right.
And for their own track record, अगर time पे दे देगा, you'll be very happy. It's like you're going to a restaurant. खाना अगर बहुत अच्छा होगा, लेकिन if you're going to come out saying यार इतना time लगा यार एक basic dish के लिए, हम like यार they made you wait 30 minutes for a dish. वही restaurant आपको 2 मिनट या 5 मिनट में आ जाएगा. You'll remember it, even if it's average taste. You'll be like, chalo, quickly eat. About convenience and the speed.
How do you compare Mumbai real estate prices and Dubai real estate prices? What do you think is more value for money, and which I would say city do you see give more returns in 5 years?
Maybe I'm going to tweak this question more to UAE and India than Mumbai and Dubai. I mean, capital appreciation is going to happen both the places. India has got a great future as well. UAE's track record is unbelievable, and the only thing with UAE is that it doesn't rely only on Emiratis, it relies on every nationality. So there's a number of people who are moving into Dubai or UAE is that I would say the diversity is much more than India, right? India, on the other hand, the need of someone to buy property is very different. Like maybe your grandfather or your dad would have a different strategy, maybe what you or your kids have. UAE is also, I would say both. I would say both have a capital appreciation. ROI is better in UAE.
Right.
India में यार even my properties are not even giving a percent or 2%. वो अपना खर्चा ही निकाल दे, it's a big thing. उसमें maintenance का issue है, ये देने का है, वो payment देने का है. So UAE I think in general is a little bit more. I would say UAE, and again, यार, I'm born brought up there, so.
So little biased तो बनता है.
हाँ यार, naturally. I'm like I'm Indian passport, but I feel very Emiratis because उधर ही you're grown up there, so no, but.
Tell me pockets in Dubai, right? What would be the most expensive locality in Dubai per square foot wise?
Expensive per square feet?
Like the Malabar Hill of Dubai.
There are a few. Palm Jumeirah, DIFC, downtown, Dubai downtown. Dubai Marina has picked up quite a bit, because obviously water facing. In around Jumeirah 1, Jumeirah 2, there are all these premium properties all by the water. So anything closer to water definitely picks up. It is much more per square feet. Your downtown for sure because of Burj Khalifa. So in DIFC is because it's Dubai International Financial Center. But again, DIFC in Dubai downtown is right there. It's like your car Bandra. So it's right there. So these are, I would say, per square feet, the highest in pricing. But because they are premium properties, they are premium properties as well.
So how much would a 2 BHK, say 1,000 carpet roughly cost in some place like Jumeirah?
So Jumeirah doesn't have 2 BH. Yeah, they have 2 BHKs. I would say an easier way to compare is because Jumeirah 1 has very few buildings which are giving 2-bedroom.
Understood.
Downtown obviously has much more. So if I had to just maybe move the question to downtown, a 2 BHK can be starting at, it could even be starting at about 1.8, 1.9 million dirham, going up to 4, 5 million as well, depending on the quality, the finishing, the size of the unit.
That's not around the size. Around the conversion, please correct me if I'm wrong, is that about 6 crores roughly?
Yeah, so your dirham is currently 1 AED is about 23 INR. So yeah, your 5 to 6 CR I would say is little lower than that bhi ho sakta hai, depending on if the unit is a little old or if it's not having a great view, but it still gives you a great yield because bhade pe to chala hi jata hai because of being in downtown and the convenience of the metro and Dubai Mall and Burj Khalifa. But you have your obviously premium, your maybe your apartment is marble finishing and you've got your basic sanitaries, maybe Velero and Bosch, it's not rack ceramic. So all these basic things also make a difference. Your view, finishing, so yeah.
So can I assume the property price per square foot in INR in the best location of Dubai will be roughly around 60,000 rupees a square foot?
I could starting at 55-60,000 per square feet. Maybe a few little lower, but then can even jump to your 75-80,000 per square feet, 90,000 per square feet as well.
I've seen people in Dubai do crazy interiors. Like there's no end to spending on the interiors in Dubai. Right? They'll have LV furniture or something.
So Dubai, I'll tell you what, Dubai because everything is imported from Europe to India to Turkey to a lot of these great places which build amazing furniture, to your basic China, to your amazing IKEA as well. Dubai has a lot of, pehli baat to jo end users hai, they are like, there's an experience, furnishing is a therapy in its own way. And the furniture shops, just the whole experience of furnishing it, people enjoy it. Then they're like, chalo, theek hai, maybe we'll buy one item from Dragon Mall because China is amazing with a few items. And then we'll buy maybe somewhere a Fendi cushion or something from an Italian brand. And so yeah, furnishing in general, I feel anywhere compared to the world is not very expensive in Dubai. Because the import duty is not much, jab import bhi kar rahe ho. And agar locally kuch custom bhi karane ka hai. And furnishing is fun. Like I think for a lot of people it's just therapy. Like this is enjoy furnishing.
Yeah.
And availability hai na, it's not like you're driving 2 hours to find out one bed somewhere. You can go to places 20 minutes drive away from wherever you are in Dubai and see everything under one roof. And finish maybe 70% of your house in that 2-3 hours only and have a great lunch or high tea in that mall and come out. फिर सब कुछ हो जाता है. And then the deliveries and the logistics from these furnishing stores are so good. हम लोग आके fix कर देंगे. And the furnishing stores have even free interior services. That like आपको चाहिए हम लोग we will do this for you. We'll let us know your plan. We'll tell you what will look nice. कहाँ plant अच्छा लगेगा, कहाँ center table अच्छा लगेगा. They'll plan that for you. So and then to Pinterest Zindabad and all this is there.
Oh, absolutely. Pinterest has made life easier.
Yeah.
Coming to interiors, right? How different is the interior business from operational point of view to the construction business?
So interiors or your renovation, fit outs, maintenance is a B2C, right? I'm either sitting with a housewife or I'm sitting with the family, the primary owner of the property, and your building is a B2B. because उसको यहाँ बेचने का है, या he wants to upgrade into something else, or maybe add some other feature to it, or maybe make it a hotel apartment, or make it whatever they want to do. So B2C has its own challenges as well, because the C doesn't really know, they'll be like, हाँ मेरे को ये brown दरवाजा चाहिए, and 2 months के बाद उसने कोई होटल में कुछ green दरवाजा दिख लिया, there is this sage green or this sap green is trending, and the color of the year is your mocha and all that. They're like, अभी ये कर देंगे, and so that has a challenge. But then we charge variation. I'm like, we've already put in our energy in it, so we charge variation. That variation obviously has our own margin also in it. So yeah, that has its own challenges, but again, it has its own fun as well.
Correct.
किसी का घर ready हो गया, and before after में, now content is king, right? Like look at where we are. So your before after में the interiors look nice, ना? लैंड में भी अच्छा लगता है, बट वो एक खाली जमीन दिखाऊं फिर एक बिल्डिंग दिखाऊं 25 महीने के बाद is very different than I'm showing something in maybe a couple of weeks.
Now the $1 million question: what is the rental yield in Dubai like?
Supposed to give me $1 million.
And why are they so high?
So the rental yield for your residential, especially, it's starting at anywhere between 5-6%, even 7% sometimes. These are long-term leases. You give it to somebody for 12 months or more. And so that's your good basic ROI on your rental yield, where it picks up when you can manage to give it for short term, like holiday homes, Airbnbs and all have picked up quite a bit. And we have our own division as well, where we tell landlords that we will rent out your units for a shorter time, like 3 months, 15 days, 1 week. Like look at now it's like season time, New Year's ka time tha. Abhi ye chalta hi jayega because the weather is so good in Dubai, where your yield has even gone to 10, 11, 12. Like there are few units where they're giving close to 17%, but that's very few units. Primarily between your 8 and 11, 12 have been good for your short term. But this is not in every pocket of Dubai, or not every location, or not every building. So your yields are not higher than maybe a lot of other places in the world. And there's the demand. Yeah, so many people are moving to Dubai. Like look at it now. I mean, even if you're sitting and chatting to your friends, or any conversation, be it bankers sitting down, be it investment people sitting down, be it factories, be it MNCs want to open a branch, they all are talking about Dubai. And then work from home has become so good. They're like, chalo, theek hai, we will work from Dubai. Fir kya chahiye? A great house with a great view and Wi-Fi. So, and then bachon ka education is good. The medical is very good there. Safety. रात को सुबह को 3 बजे you've got like tons of gold on you and you're walking down the street, nothing will happen to you. So safety is so good in Dubai.
And what's the rental yield of commercial offices in Dubai?
Commercial offices 7 to 10. 7 to 10 is a good.
So we have, I can assume 5 to 6 for residential, 7 to 10 for commercial, but holiday homes
much more
give the most.
Yeah, much more.
17% is ridiculous.
Yeah, but don't quote me on 17 because I know that number because I am only managing that unit and I'm seeing that figure. It's but majority are between that 8 and 11.
I've seen brochures where the rental yield is 14%, at least on
it's
brochures.
very achievable.
Wow.
Yeah, very, very achievable.
How is that? Is that even financially feasible for the people coming in?
They should know this number. They should not be like, this is the only reason we're going to Dubai because 14 hone wala, but they should know this number that this is possible. And then when you have a great advisor telling you ki kaun sa property kharida hai, where have you bought it, at what price have you bought it, if you bought it off plan, you bought it primary, you bought it secondary market, did you buy it at the right price, do you know what you bought, do you know how much money you're putting on the furnishing. There could be 2 units on the same building in the same floor, having the same view, but if one's got great aesthetics and one's got super average aesthetics, you're just targeting a different audience. Because someone who's coming there for a holiday, they're like, I want to enjoy the apartment, I want it to be very Instagrammable also, and like, it's got great mirrors and great furniture, and have a nice swing on your balcony, and have like a reading bed, and put some nice claddings on your wall. It's just that it feels very good. You're like, great, I don't need a 5-star because I feel like a 5-star in a holiday home. Right. So that'll obviously fetch you a little bit higher rent.
Of course.
And aapne extra paisa dala kitna? Doing interiors and furnishing is very cheap.
So a well done flat with interiors will give you more rent.
Yeah. Packaging is everything, right?
Does that work only for holiday homes? Of course, holiday homes have to be furnished, but what about normal first homes? Renting in the first home residential market, even there the interiors make a difference in the rental?
It does make a difference. Having said 70% is still unfurnished gets rented out, just because these are all end users, who have moved to Dubai for a year or moved to that building for a year or this for life. Again, shopping being therapy, they're like हम लोग को खुद हमारा घर बनाने का, we want to have our study table to look like this is the way we want our TV to look like. But furnished units also get a great rent, and a better furniture is always much better. And I just feel Dubai the furniture stores also, they are so intelligent. उन लोगों को मालूम है कि क्या भाड़े क्या बिकने वाला है. वो लोग कुछ बकवास लेके ही नहीं आते. Like there is nothing which is like awful looking furniture. Like everything looks so good. Correct. And it's great quality, and most of it, I mean, obviously there is some shitty furniture as well, and most of it is quite good.
Coming from from a construction point of view, what type of projects sell the most in Dubai? Like, what does the end buyer want in a project in Dubai?
End user?
Yeah, as an end user.
Location is very important. Dubai, it makes a lot of difference on where your kids are studying, because that makes a lot of difference. So the proximity to your school, proximity to work as well, obviously makes a lot of difference. The facilities in the building, like nowadays, it's not only a basic gym, pool, and all of that. And people they've improvised. They've got paddle courts, pickleball. Most important, the love for pets. Oh wow! If you have like a great pet playing area where they can walk around, they can mingle with your. हम लोग बोलते थे ना पहले के बच्चों के प्ले डेट्स होते थे, अभी पेट प्ले डेट्स होते हैं. सो हाउ कन्वीनियंट इज दैट इफ यू हैव एन ओपन स्पेस, इफ यू हैव just like a calm reading area, if you've got a hall in the building which can be rented for your basic parties or get-togethers. So people look at a lot of these things when they want to move in, be it on rent or be it on if they want to buy. Like these facilities, these amenities are very, very important.
Is there a particular configuration, whether it's a 1-bed, 2-bed, 3-bed, what configuration gets sold the most in Dubai?
As for an investor, studios 1s and 2s are the best. For an end user, depending on the size of your family. But if someone has a size of the family where they need a 2-bedroom, they may buy a 3-bedroom, because the 3rd bedroom is always work from home, or someone wants a library, or someone wants a switch off area, or someone just because this minimalism of lifestyle is still not coming. So wardrobes are always less, and this desi culture of storage, or your Middle Eastern cultures, everyone needs storage. So they'll buy an extra room, and then your maid's room, because the convenience of getting a staff there is very easy, again thanks to the government. And so they obviously need a maid's room for that. But depends on end user or investor hai, so I will advise them studio 1s and 2-bedroom, because they're very easy to rent out and very easy to even sell it later, because there's always a buyer for a smaller unit. But brilliant in townhouses. Townhouses are 3-4 bedrooms.
Townhouses also.
Yeah, super. Villas and townhouses is always the first thing to buy. Oh, wow. Always the first thing to buy. Agar mil gaya to, because it's usually like this mad line which is outside for launches, which I'm sure everyone sees.
So townhouses are popular, huh?
Yeah. And I myself also, I'm not only telling people, I myself buy a lot of property for my personal reason, like my holding company or for our own group. So in fact, I bought a townhouse maybe less than a fortnight back as well. So on regular basis, I would advise someone, if they can get accessibility to a townhouse, but have an advisor tell you where to buy, what to buy, what number, where the location is of the townhouse, what are the current features. This is for off plan. अगर ready है तो पहले देख लो, समझ में आता है. Very easy to rent, very easy to sell. Upgrade करना is not expensive. Upgrade करना, बेच दो वापस या rent में डाल दो.
How's the sales velocity of properties in Dubai?
Mad.
Is it mad?
Mad. Like when the media says ना कि बिक गया इतने घंटों में, it's sold out overnight or sold out in X number of hours, that's actually true. It does get sold. Although depends on the developer. Depends on the developer, depends on the track record. Depends on what they have delivered in the past, depends on the features of the property, the location of the property, but the volumes are great numbers, and these volumes are they're there in the media on a regular basis. The land department themselves, the news mein aata hai ki this much X millions and billions of properties being sold over 6 months or over a year, and these numbers are all verified. It's all, you can see the transactions. Dubai Interact has an app, you can see the transactions happening ki wo building mein ya wo locality mein what has got sold and at what figure. So there's no hanky-panky, there's no flowering the whole
no
number.
Information asymmetry.
No, nothing. It's all super genuine and clean.
Right. Yeah. Which nationality buys the most in Dubai?
Desis rock, bro. The Desis are amazing. Desis, Chinese, Russians, your Europeans, UK has also been quite a bit off late. Africans, but Desis, yeah. We Desis are amazing. I mean,
right.
The spending, not the spending, the investment, the investing capacity we have, and I think it's in our culture as well, ना? Like परदादों के ज़माने से है कि property लेके भाड़े पे डाल दो, rental income. That's there in a lot of other cultures, but we Desis have
Roti kapda makan. So
Yeah,
I think.
So I think desis are desis में भी जो भी अभी देश आ गया सब desis.
Absolutely. Tell me one thing now, from a construction point of view again. Since you're into construction, right? Do you have a favorite type of project that you like to build? Keeping obviously the feasibility of the project in mind.
Schools are fun,
Interesting.
and we have done work for hospitals as well. Warehousing is fun as well because it's easier, quicker, and I know it's very it's very lucrative for the person who's giving the project कि इसको बना दो because बहुत जल्दी भाड़े पे चला जाएगा, and then also this the demand of a cold storage, demands of this store. I think warehousing is fun. Buildings so obviously are fun. Residential, किसी का building है, घर है, but there's that. I mean, it's fun for the books and for my engineers, but personally, I just get this attachment to schools and hospitals, and because I think everyone who goes inside comes out either more educated or better health.
Yeah.
So अगर वो बनाए, there's a little bit more fulfilling.
And from a design perspective, I think there'll be more. I'm from India, so I'm going to say loading, right?
Yeah.
So they're bigger. How's the design different, right? I'm sure they're bigger lobbies, more common area, common facilities in schools and hospitals.
Yeah, even in
public gathering structures.
Even schools, hospitals, and in Dubai in general, your common areas are usually a little larger compared to India.
Right.
But I just feel because यहाँ land भी बहुत मुश्किल है ना, वहाँ भी land obviously is not as much as पहले, but in general people want like a nice little lavish lobby. They want like that marble finishing. They want a good common area outside your apartment door. They want a little bit more comfortable area around your pool, and the gym has to look nice. Either the gym has to overlook the pool, and so they want a little bit more spaced out. Apartments in general are getting smaller. Like that's where even in the world, right? Their one bedrooms are a little small. They're very compact. But again, Dubai ऐसा है कि you are a lot outside the apartment as well. You're in the common area. So those areas, the developer or the attention is there on the finishing and on the थोड़ा खुला
apartment size. What do you think is a respectable size for a 3 BHK in Dubai?
End user. For a 3 BHK, anything north of 1400 square feet.
Okay, that's big.
1500 square feet. Yeah, like my Bombay apartment is a 4-bedroom, and it's like a little shy of 2000, and I'm like a dabba. I found like a matchbox. But वो same अगर 3-bedroom में होता, I would say north of maybe 1500-1600 as well.
North of 1500-1600, and that's what most developers make in Dubai.
Yeah, but there are these few developers who feel that इतना बड़ा balcony दे देंगे, लोग खुश हो जाएंगे. I'm like, क्या गर्मी देखी है? Be a little like खुद का भी, I mean, it's great for you because बाहर से बड़ा balcony अच्छा लगता है, but realistically कितना देर balcony में बैठने वाला?
Right.
You
you have take that space inside the room.
Yeah, I'm like, ठीक है, weather is great. Like as we speak, Dubai is raining. It's got a beautiful 15 degrees. But how many months in the year?
Yeah.
So it's better give them more inside space or have a smart planning. So I think that's a good size where it's comfortable. Storage mil gaya. If you have kids, they have a little bit of space to move around. And maid's room fit aa gaya. Kitchen is great. Your dining table is not like mar ke kha rahe hain, that you can't even, you have to hit each other to have a great meal. And you want your lounge area and your TV area because that's where you're chilling and having a great time.
Correct.
And storage mil gaya. Forget desis. Anyone needs storage, right?
Absolutely. And
I think
desis needs the most.
Yeah, bed ke niche ho gaya, cupboard ke andar ho gaya, wherever you need storage.
Absolutely.
I think
storage
that's
is
a
very,
good
very
size.
critical. Very critical.
But it's gonna get more compact as we speak. Just the way in New York, London, Bombay.
Like Tokyo.
Yeah, there you go.
Unbelievable.
Marches ke
I
dabbe
was seeing on YouTube, there's this hotel where you have, it's like a cylinder inside a wall. And there are beds inside that cylinder. It's like how you put a dead body in the mortuary. It's like that. And there are hostels like that where people, in one wall, you'll have like 6 cylindrical beds inside. And people rent those out.
I've seen those,
It's
but
unbelievable.
I just pray God nahi hoye Dubai.
It's like going into an MRI machine.
Yeah, and it's claustrophobic. Yeah. And for health, it's not good.
It's not good
in general, it's not good. I mean, technically, you're inside a concrete structure. I don't know your face, right? It's not. It affects your brain and the way of thinking. There's a lot, but वो पता नहीं चलता, बाद में पता चलता है. But again, I'm not going to judge people who stay there because they are there for a reason.
Of course.
Because everyone's doing, जितना चादर है उतना ही पाँव फैलाएंगे ना. So they are doing what they're doing. So,
and I think Dubai still has bigger homes, right? Compared to Asia, most part of it. Hong Kong, Singapore, it's probably so expensive.
Yeah, you have your mansions, you have your villas, you have penthouses, you have all of that as well. And if your resources and God has blessed you with it to go for it and rent it and buy it, please do. It's brilliant. Like It's a great apartment. Maintenance in general थोड़ा कम होता है. Like I feel because maybe having property, I've had property in London before. I personally have property in Dubai and in Bombay. The wear and tear in Dubai is much lesser.
Okay.
Yeah, there's much lesser. The construction quality is much better because again the involvement of the authorities, and
Is it because it's a dry place in general?
that also, and everything is centrally air conditioned. So you know, it's not that कि एक AC खराब हुआ है and उधर एक का leakage है wear and tear है, but much lesser than your other tropical countries and a lot of other countries as well.
Right.
And there's a lot of concrete. You don't have gypsum walls. It's not that you're coughing in your kid in the other room can hear कि पापा खास रहा है.
Correct. So speaking of wear and tear, right? I want to talk to you about the construction machinery rental business you're in. That's very interesting, right? How does that make money? Because you're buying, depreciating, assets over a period of time and then renting them out, right? How does that play out? I just want to understand the dynamics of this business.
The old school way of working for a lot of desi companies is like ये खरीद लेते हैं, ज़रूरत पड़ेगी खरीद लेते हैं. But a lot of MNCs, a lot of non-desi managed businesses, they always want to keep themselves asset light. They're like ये भाड़े पे ले लेंगे, because being asset light is very it has its own benefits. So they're like scaffolding भाड़े पे ले लेंगे, cradles भाड़े पे ले लेंगे, compressors, power generator units. Now say for instance, let me just manifest it whilst I'm sitting here. Say you do like a kick-ass real estate, with Mayank ka event, and it's at like some huge exhibition area, or like, and where you're like, मेरे को power चाहिए because इतनी lighting है, इतने लोग audience आएंगे. Then you're like, एक power generator चाहिए. Now either the complex gives the electricity, or you have to hire the
Right.
power generator out. Then like it's obviously easier. Now you're like, oh yeah, this real estate by Mayank is kicking ass. I'm going to do this every month or every quarter, every fortnight. They're like, एक power generator unit खरीद लेंगे. And if you have a very smart CFO, they'll be like, sir, if you want to keep yourself asset light, ये भाड़े पे ले लो. So this is an example because you relate to the business. Now same thing, imagine a lot of the companies. They're like, why do we buy the assets? We can just keep it asset light and we'll rent it out. Like even for me, as a business, in Dubai, most of your staff, you need to provide them car and the facilities. But off late, I keep telling my guys, I'm like, थोड़ा asset light रखो, भाड़े पे ले लो गाड़ी. हम लोग खरीद रहे गाड़ी, उसका wear and tear हो रहा है, depreciation sheet पे आता है, उसका the toll fees या जो भी है वो सब extra भरना पड़ता है, भाड़े पे ले लो, because we are paying the rental. Similarly, when we have the scaffolding, the power generator units and cradles, compressors, and all of these things, we're happy to rent it out. And years ago, when my dad was alive, I remember he was just generally just sitting, we were just chatting at home, and he's like, भाड़े का business है ना best है. भले अपने अपार्टमेंट भाड़े पे दो या मशीन भाड़े पे दो, बस भाड़े पे दो. वो देते रहो, उसका break even जल्दी हो जाता है. But obviously, he just said it as a conversation, and we are actually practicing that. We are doing that, and we are seeing the returns. And something like a scaffolding, ना भी कितना age होने वाला है, steel का है, उसको basic मरम पट्टी करो, ठीक हो जाता है. And then you can then rent it out. Power generator units also, they don't take too much time to break even. But you need to have an expert in the field. You need to know how to have one, how to operate one, have your mechanics on your payroll. And we even sell power generator units. So because we have been assembling, manufacturing and selling it, so जब भाड़े पे दे रहे, we know what we are renting out. It's like I'm having a catering company, but मैं बर्तन भी भाड़े पे दे रहा हूँ. But I know I'm going to use it अगर वो आगे वाला use नहीं करने वाला. That
what I like about bhada is predictable income. I think that is something which is really good about the whole rental model.
And then again, Dubai का safety steps in. कभी ऐसा हुआ ही नहीं कि मशीन गुम हो गई है या चोरी हो गई, वो तो होता ही नहीं है ना, because everything is the safety is so good there.
Exactly.
So yeah, so machinery rentals
now,
is.
Speaking of safety, right? Let's talk about security guards. That business. How do you kind of talk about the pros and cons of this business, please? And I also want to understand, how do you charge? Is it per security guard? What are the charges of this?
So I've done this a lot through the podcast, but I'm going to step in again through why the government is involved. So there's a department called SIRA. Right. So every guard has to take a course, has to give an exam and be SIRA certified. Okay. If you're not SIRA certified, you cannot become a guard. They can a random inspector can come and ask you for a SIRA license. Okay. So the security guards have taken an exam. They know what they are doing, and now coming to charging for those security guards. Those security guards usually depends on property management is monthly basis. Depending on how many guards are needed or the size of the property, we just say कि इतना पैसा लगेगा per guard. Depending on accommodation कौन दे रहा है, is the landlord giving it, is the provider giving it, depends on the location, how far it is from the accommodation, Depends on how many hours you want and what other services. Do you want only a security guards to patrol around the property? Do you want them to sit there and register every person coming in? Do you want them, we even do lifeguards. Do you need that security of life as a lifeguard next to your swimming pool? Depends what you need. So the charges vary. It's usually monthly basis. अगर events है, coming back to, I'm still manifesting this, ये real estate with Mayank का अगर event हुआ, आप बोलो आप बोलो कि मेरे हो जाएगा for sure, सत वचन. Say you say कि I have an event and I have got some HNIs coming, I've got some area coming, I need securities guards for an event. It's a 1 day event or 2 day event, then on event basis I charge you. That itna charges hai. So it really depends on, like a lot of celebrities come, they need even bouncers. So we've even given bouncers to some A-list celebrities as well. I'm not going to throw in names here, but so we've even given bouncers to them. So wo bhi hai. So it depends on what kind of security you need. And all of them are certified. It's not ki any hatta katta guy can look like a security guard or
there's a course that you need to do.
Yeah, you need to get course, you need to be certified. It's completely illegal to send somebody who's not certified. The penalties to a security company are very high.
Oh, no.
Very, very high. And they are that high that you'll want to shut the company.
No
so you need
way.
to be very careful. So follow the rule, buy the book, discipline karo, rules in Dubai are not to be broken. Sometimes say in life you're supposed to break them. You break them,
Not
you
in-
can.
not in the
Please, in UAE don't, and follow karke smile karo na, kya takleef hai? There's a rules for a reason, right?
Now, I want to talk about your holiday home rental business. You said rental yields are as high as 40%, right? Can you tell us the good locations to invest in Dubai for holiday homes in particular?
The best, if someone is able to afford that, is anything close to water.
Okay.
Anything close to water, because water has its own energy. Abhi viewing mein ho ya walking mein ho ya beach pe ho, it could be next to the marina, it could be next to the lake, it could be next to at the beach, it could be reclaimed beach like a Palm Jumeirah, reclaimed land. Definitely anything which is next to a tourist attraction. It could be Burj Khalifa, it could be the mall, which is again Burj Khalifa. There are few other pockets which are far, but for some reason the returns are good. Like there's an area called Town Square, there's an area called Damak Hills. All of those areas also where people actually take it on long term. Like wahan bhi short term for some reason is doing very well. Now I don't know why, but it's doing very well. I mean, I'm not complaining. So yeah, all of these areas. So but primarily अगर किसी को holiday home is, then you're next to the water, next to tourist attraction, next to metro stations.
Right.
उससे भी बहुत फर्क पड़ता है, because someone who's moving to Dubai, से अगर आपका ये event हो, आप बोलो यार मैं 2-3 दिन travel नहीं कर सकता हूँ, minimum 15-20 दिन travel करने का है. I don't need a tourist attraction, I just need a metro, I need the convenience. अभी हर रोज जाके अगर साइट देखूंगा कि कैसा है, so then 15 दिन चाहिए ना.
Cabs are so expensive in Dubai.
Yeah, but still the cheapest in the world, ना?
Really?
Because of fuel. है महंगा है, but compared to Europe and all that, but again, मगर fuel भी महंगा उधर है ना.
Right.
अभी कोई अंग्रेज गाड़ी चलाएगा और कोई देसी गाड़ी चलाएगा, फर्क नहीं होता.
10x the price because I'm white. Let me charge you. From an investment point of view, right? Which location would you invest in for a residential home in Dubai
As an investor.
as an investor?
Again, because I'm born brought up there, so you obviously make money when you're in your core areas, but a lot of people the aspirational people who want to come to Dubai, or the people who find it too expensive, they start living on the outskirts. So I have invested into properties which are even closer to, again, your bigger railway systems coming, which are close to, going to Saudi or going to Abu Dhabi. So a little far, like off late investments are even happening. The Damak Islands, which just got launched. There was a huge launch with Amitabh Bachchan, Ranveer Singh, Sara Ali Khan and all. So I personally also have invested there because the location's great. And there's an area called Nashama Town Square. That's having the Etihad rail coming there. A few other pockets close to Jabal Ali. And then obviously your old school Business Bay and all these areas are doing great. But I personally would maybe go a little far because I see growth there more. Dubai South, how can I forget? Dubai South is doing great because the expo happened there. The new airport is coming there. Wow. How can I forget? It's a key point. And so that area is developing very well. तो उसमें अगर 100 का प्रॉपर्टी है, वो 100 से 110 जल्दी होएगा. दूसरी प्रॉपर्टीज भी 102, 103, 104 होंगी, but this will, your capital appreciation will be quicker there. And they're fresher properties, newer properties. And the developers are more sorted out. They know what to put in the property. कि किसी और की गलती से सीख के they are making sure कि हम वो गलती नहीं करें.
आपका entry point is also lower, right? Relative to something.
हाँ,
like
correct. Yeah, for sure.
So the scope of appreciation is more in a growing environment, right?
So your per square feet also is much better priced.
And the similar question, which location are you very bullish on in Dubai for commercial properties?
I still personally love Business Bay. It's the traffic is a mess, but not because I'm also personally there. It's just convenient because it's just a working culture, you know, like even when you're getting down and going down for lunch, you're just meeting working people. There are more commercial buildings coming there. T-com is an area also which does well. Barsha and T-com is an area which is doing well. If you are in that financial, like where you have business involves finance and all, then DIFC is great. It has an entry cost because it's a very premium area. But if you're in that field, you need to be there. You know, so DIFC is great. If you are somebody who wants to do your manufacturing and production related, then the free zones are great. Jebel Free Zone is one of the oldest and the best. Then there are other ones in Ras Al Khaimah. There's lots of them coming in Abu Dhabi.
There's a casino coming as well, right, in Ras Al Khaimah?
In Ras Al Khaimah as well, and there will be in Dubai as well. But RAC for sure, it's all been confirmed and launched. Launched as in it's all been announced, and a lot of developments coming around there. So yeah, RAC is so. But yeah, commercial, I think these areas, depending क्या है, किसी को कुछ बनाने का है, manufacturing है, या just an office है, या just a back end है, what is it? So location should matter, keeping that in mind.
As an investor now, right, because you have a lot of properties, what do you prefer investing in, residential or commercial?
Residential. Both, but residential. Residential is, if I'm able to get a land where I can build warehouses and rent it out, then that would be on the commercial side, that would be my preference. But residential is because people are moving to live in Dubai. वो लोग को रहने का है. बहुत लोग आ रहे हैं क्योंकि धंधा भी बनाने का है या business खोलने का या want to have some kind of industry, but end of the day residential है because they want to send their families there or live there. And
is it easy to sell a commercial space in Dubai?
Dubai it's easy. I mean, if you have suddenly as an investor, they're like, you know, I've bought 20,000 square feet ka one commercial floor or 2 floors, and then I'm trying to resell that, that's difficult. But yeah, if you had bought that and you smartly converted them to smaller offices or did something else, or you bought a 20,000 square feet ka floor plate which already have 10-20 offices, then एक करके भी बेच सकते हैं ना, then वो भी बिक जाएगा. But no, selling is not difficult. Again, कहाँ खरीदा है, commercial building metro से कितना दूर है, what is the convenience in the building, is it a 40-story with only 2 lifts or is it 8 lifts? All these things also make a difference, right. You know, because then it's यार ऊपर आने जाने में आधा घंटा लग जाता है फिर. So these
very interesting
few things.
Interesting point.
Again, these are very small points,
and they matter so much actually, if you got to see. Very
and
interesting.
Again, I'm not trying to flex, but being an investor, being a property manager, being a broker, being the maintenance guy, being across that board, you know, वो सब करके मालूम है कि कहाँ कहाँ तकलीफ आ सकती है. And that's the exact thing which I convey to my clients. कि this is the real thing. You know, I'm not trying to discourage you.
Right.
The client है कि आप इतने negatives बोल रहे हो, मैंने बोला because I'm ruling it out for you. You know, it's the elimination ka game, then the survival of the fittest
it's better
strategy.
to know things, right, beforehand.
Yeah. Because not that कि मेरे को दलाली होगी, चलो ठीक है, टाटा बाय बाय, thank you for the commission, great seeing you. So
बाद में property management भी करना है.
Yeah, and
interiors भी करना है on fit out.
And I think my conscience is there. I mean, it's just चिपकाने के लिए तो कुछ भी चिपका के सो जाओ, profit लेके किसी को खुशी होती है. For me, I don't know. I need.
But brands aren't built that way, right?
And I cannot remove the human out of me. So I don't know. Atinirmal, no, very pure.
No, I want to understand, like, what would be your word of advice for Indians, right, shifting into Dubai and looking to start a real estate brokerage company? How should they go about it?
So, I will tell them, I say this in Masti a lot, that Dubai is the best city of India. So don't think twice. Definitely come there. It's very easy to move into Dubai. Now, if you're coming to the question of opening a brokerage company in Dubai, welcomes new people to open businesses. Very easy to do that. The economic department is smooth. Less than a couple of days sab ho jayega. Then comes to your mehnat. Then comes to your how confident you are of your craft, how confident you are of hustling through, because brokerage, like there are so many of them. Brokerages, you know, itne sare brokers hai, so you're going to be one more in those thousands of people. Then depends कि आपको क्या knowledge है, क्या expertise है, why you're doing it. You know, the why is more important than the how. तो हो ही जाएगा. The why is more important than why you want to do it. Just not because it's a trending business. No, you should have some know-how as well.
And what's the brokerage percentage that developers give in under construction properties in Dubai?
What the developers give? So anywhere starting at 1.5-2%, up to 5 to 6%. A lot of private ones are now even gone to 8 to 10 because they are finding it very difficult to sell their properties. So yeah, but 2 to 5 is is the
And
average.
just like how you have in India, do real estate agents, when they're selling RERA registered properties, do they also need to be RERA registered?
Yeah. Every broker has everything has an exam. As in my construction company, my engineers have an exam.
Security guards.
My security guards need an exam. My civil engineers need an exam. If you're doing pest control, if someone's giving a facility, the guy needs to know how to operate the machine and what chemicals they're putting in. If you're a AC, your AC guy needs to be certified by the government. If you're a broker, you need to take the broker exam. You need to take the course. You need to give an exam, and the passing marks is 75 or 80 or something. It's not you can't be a basic broker. You need to have all that knowledge, and you need to keep renewing your certificates. Not exam again, but to just renew it every yearly basis as well. Everything needs to be certified. You cannot do a deal if you don't have a certificate. You need to be legit. Dubai yani legit.
Legit. No jugaad, no nothing. No scheme.
Nothing. And don't do na. Kya hai? I mean, I don't know. Maybe because I'm brought up that way. उन्हें क्या करने का जुगाड़? अच्छा धंधा करो. Tax है तो tax भरो. Pay and smile.
और टैक्स कितना है?
जितना भी है 5 हो 50 हो देखिए खुश रहो. I mean, why? End of the day, government भी खाने वाली नहीं है, कुछ देने वाली रिटर्न में. Infrastructure is great, everything is superb, so just pay and smile. किसी का चोरी करोगे या कर्मा है, यहाँ कहाँ ना कहाँ आके काटेगा.
Ati, I had a great time with you today.
Yeah, it was a great chat.
Literally learned a lot about how the Dubai market works. Not just real estate, hardcore real estate, but also the ancillary industries around real estate. And it was good to get it from you because it was easier rather than interviewing 7 people in 7 different businesses. We just found one person, right? To do it's saves a lot of time for us as well. But before we part ways, I want to ask you one last question, right?
कभी last नहीं बोलने का. My dad says don't say last. Maybe we'll meet for some other reason.
Absolutely.
Maybe without the camera also we're having a
100%.
conversation. Yeah.
Ati, if a person, very hypothetical question, say somebody had 100,000 dirhams to start a business, right? In real estate or an ancillary industry of real estate, what business would you choose?
100,000 dirham. I mean, in general, I would say something in the service industry. It could be what kind. So construction also is a service. Real estate is a service. Anything in the service industry, but you should know what your business is. You could have maybe lesser money as well, but as long as you know what you're doing, it could be as simple as getting a license and selling something because you cook it really well from home, or it could be an industry because you know how to manufacture it. Anything which you know you have the confidence of the craft at. I think that is very important. But in Dubai, God's grace, most of the businesses are doing well. But yeah, you can't say that I want to open an umbrella manufacturing business. इतनी बारिश नहीं होती. You need to be mindful of what you're choosing as well.
The government is trying hard to bring rain. With,
yeah, but off late it's all been very organic. Off late it's all been Bhagwani bhej rahe.
We had, I think.
It was raining this morning.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but that's all. That's all. Cloud seeding hota tha, but off late it's all been God gifted. Yeah, but coming back to your business, it really depends. You can open a business and you can under 100,000. It'll be tight, but you can open it. But it depends on what you know. You really need to know what you know. Once you're there, parallelly, please invest in who you know, because it's a combination of both. So definitely network, definitely make some noise, be it on social media, be it personally, be to have that old school door-to-door strategy. The who you know is very important as well.
Like they say, your network is your net worth.
Correct. That's very important. But at the end of the day, you can't be a buddhu. You need to know कि क्या भी कर रहे हो. I mean, you can be the best doctor, but अगर आवाज़ ही नहीं किया कि मैंने clinic खोला है, and if you have not made that noise, then word of mouth से होएगा, but overheads are decent. So to cover that cost, खाली word of mouth sometimes is not enough. So yeah, it's just you need to make that little bit of noise.
Awesome, Ati. I had a great time today.
Yeah, and we manifested.
Yes.
We manifested real estate with Mayank. It's going to happen. Satwach, it's going to happen for sure.
Great time. And
Thank you.
A top podcast, man.
Thank you.